One of the video game genres with the fastest recent growth is the Soulslike category. Following the fantastic Dark Souls series by From Software's enormous popularity, AAA and independent teams alike have sought to imitate the formula that has brought challenging games back into the spotlight. It can be difficult to define what constitutes a game as Soulslike, but for the purposes of this list, we're defining it as any game that heavily borrows from Dark Souls, whether through similar combat systems, world architecture, or narrative presentation. Here are the top video games in the Soulslike category. Under Lilies, Quietus of the Knights, which is based in a once great kingdom that has been devastated by catastrophe, isn't shy about displaying its Dark Souls influence. Under Lilies borrows on the Dark Souls game's theme and fighting system by populating the world with challenging yet predictable foes. Under Lilies manages to distinguish itself from other Soulslikes, while stealing heavily from Dark Souls thanks to its distinctive visuals, Metroid-inspired setting, and slightly easier difficulty setting. A common description of Remnant, from the ashes, is Dark Souls with guns. While it is largely true, Remnant is much more than that. Remnant offers a new spin on the post-apocalyptic Souls-like scenario in addition to introducing guns, and a special assortment of adversaries. You must eliminate enough of the tree-like race known as the Root, in order to retake control of the planet. In order to accomplish this without the campaign being fully random, you'll battle through constantly shifting environments that combine a concrete level layout with certain roguelite aspects. Furi is a sci-fi boss rush that doesn't become apparent until you delve a little further. Despite not having a fantasy background, stamina bar, or even a leveling system, Furi's 11 brutal boss encounters highlight how much it was influenced by Dark Souls. Each boss features a variety of horrifyingly potent assaults that alter and develop over their many phases, requiring you to swiftly adapt or perish. Furi also goes to great pains to ensure that every boss battle is significantly different from the one before it, which forces you to pick up new skills as you face new enemies. Eldest Souls is an isometric boss rush Souls-like in which you go across yet another devastated nation. Eldest Souls succeeds in creating an engaging world despite its somewhat generic setting, because to its superb pixel visuals and inventive boss arenas. Bosses in Eldest Souls employ lethal, foreshadowed assaults that you must carefully manage your stamina bar to avoid during battle. Eldest Souls also includes a magic-focused skill tree in place of the standard Dark Souls leveling system, which gives the Souls-like formula some fresh life. Sifu's fighting feels unmistakably From Software, even though its art style, environment, and story have nothing in common with Dark Souls. While paying respect to the Souls series, it manages to forge its own character by putting more of an emphasis on kung fu than on swords and spells. The quickest game on this list is Sifu. If you wish to survive until the end of its arduous campaign, you must execute each attack, parry, block, and dodge with breakneck speed. Despite this, it still has difficulty levels that make it more beginner-friendly than many Souls-likes. The most well-known Souls-like on the list is Jedi, Fallen Order, which combines a AAA storyline with a slightly scaled-back version of the traditional Souls-like fighting system. Many people compare Fallen Order more to the Force Unleashed than Dark Souls since its mechanics are more forgiving than your normal Souls-like. However, if you decide to play on a harder difficulty setting, the battle system's Soul-like leanings become more apparent, because a single error might send you back to the Star Wars equivalent of a bonfire. Jedi, Fallen Order actually shines on these more tough settings, especially when you're against a good lightsaber user. Eldest Souls, which focuses on a totally roguelite environment, rather than a designed static kingdom for you to explore, may be the game on this list with the most unusual gameplay mechanics. Additionally, it does away with the stamina bar, forcing you to time your attacks such that you are up against stronger opponents, rather than endurance-based enemies. In addition to emphasizing randomly generated stages, Eldest Souls sets itself apart from previous Souls-like games with its equip system. Dead Cells' roguelite framework encourages you to piece together the greatest build you can on each run, creating an ever-evolving gameplay experience, rather than providing you with the means to gradually establish a build over many hours. One of the first 2D Soul smiles was Salt and Sanctuary, which paved the way for the dozens of others that would come after. Years later, it is still one of the best instances of how to successfully adapt the Souls premise without totally ripping it off. As you may have guessed, Salt and Sanctuary is set in a desolate kingdom. But you're only given the duty of escaping, not some huge mission to preserve it. As you advance further into the Dark Realm, the persistent terror of Salt and Sanctuary's art style and crushing boss fights encircles you, making you feel desperate to escape. The best 2D Soulslike to date is by far Blasphemous. It does an amazing job of fusing the Metroidvania world design, Souls-like combat and death mechanisms, and opaque narration to immerse you in a realm of rot and rotting. As it transforms the Souls-like ruined kingdom theme into a dramatized reflection on the harshness of Middle Ages Christian fundamentalism, the realm in question is unusual for the genre and possibly for video games in general. With this backdrop, Blasphemous is able to create some of its most horrifying boss designs ever. Many of them are inspired by the period's dark Spanish Baroque art and methods of torture. Since Team Ninja, the team behind the renowned Ninja Gaiden 2 video game, developed Nioh 2, it is unsurprising that it is the best non-From Software Souls-like game to date. The scenario is changed to ancient Japan in Nioh 2, which is a well-executed version of the Dark Souls premise with a significant increase in difficulty. Nioh 2 is indeed much harder than any other From Software game. It is unquestionably the hardest game on our list, and among the toughest Souls-like games ever. You will be crushed repeatedly over the course of hours, yet you'll keep playing to take part in more of the game's amazing combat and world creation.